let's do this thing. So we have a ton of stuff to go over. Audio's working. You guys can hear me. Music's playing. Nothing's on fire. So we crashed the website. Apparently we also crashed OBS today, and Twitch hates us. You guys have blown everything up. Good on you all. So we got a whole bunch to go over today. Let's not screw around too much. Let's just go into it. So we're going to start with the anniversary. For those who have not been around, if you're new to Kobold Press, welcome everybody. If you are here because of Black Flag, triple welcome. We are doing a bunch of stuff for the anniversary. We do it every year, and this is our 17th anniversary. I'm super excited that it's our 17th anniversary. This is my first year with the company for the 17th anniversary stuff, but I've been around as a Kobold and the Warrens with them. Like I've always been downloading their stuff. So today, if you want to get in on everything, now that the site is back up and running, this is what you're looking at, okay? So this here is your website you're going to go to. This is the koboldpress.com. The thing we're always used to, right? Always used to. Everybody's been here before for this. But you'll see here at the top, there's a little Giro, which is our Kobold mascot. 17th year anniversary. If you click this, this will show you the latest thing that is going on. And in that latest thing, for the 17th year anniversary sale, we're going to be doing something every weekday, and they last 48 hours. And then the Friday one lasts 72 through the weekend. So you got 48 hours to get each one. Today is a free one. It's not even a discount. It's a full-on free piece. And we're going to look at that today as well. So you can get a whole bunch of new stuff, and you can download the 17th anniversary sale, and you can see the current deals. And this is the current deal. This expires in 1 day, 11 hours, and 31 minutes. And it's $0. $0. So you can pick up whatever you would like over the course of these 17 days. And this is number one. There'll be a new one tomorrow, and then one on Friday that lasts through the weekend. So if you follow us on Twitch, if you are in our Discord, if you are looking at any of our stuff, you'll see those things. And see, we're already going to crash again. Look at that. It's like, wait for the page. But that's it. And then on top of that, we have the historic birthday bundle. This is going to last for 18 days. 18 days of this. This gives you all of the things that you need if you're going to start running things for 5e using Kobold Press. It's a 65% off code, and you get a ton in here. Let's see if it'll work. The website just told me that it's not happy with me. Let's see if it does it. It did it. It did it. So theme bundles, all products, monsters, Midgard campaign settings, source book. It's a little bit of everything in this one. So let's flip through it and see what we actually get. So you got your guide to world building. We're going to be taking a look at all the guides over the next couple of months. I have them all sitting down over here ready for us to go through and kind of do an unboxing for them. They're small journal style ones. Actually, hold on. I can show you. This here is the stack. This is the stack of these tiny little journal style guides, right? Do I actually have the first one up? Hold on here. Grab the world building one. And then we have more than one world building. Like there's a volume 2 as well. Combat. Like, here, I'll just tell you what they are. Game design, guide to monsters, world building volume 2, guide to dungeons, guide to board game design, guide to combat, guide to world building, which is the one that's in this, plots and campaigns, and game mastering. That's a lot. That's a lot. So you may have some struggle bus time with the website as everyone is diving in to grab everything, but just keep refreshing. You'll get it. It's not going to go away. So that's a really good setup for that. I'm going to, let me kill this and this. I don't want Slack popping up and making noises in the background for me. Oh, we got a question here. Hey, first time joining in chat. I'm quite new to D&D. When I want to start to make a game for a friend to play, I made a sidekick to go along with my very first character. It was a kobold. Oh, awesome. Since then, I've done a deep dive into their lore and absolute adore the little dragons. Yeah, I mean, we obviously are Kobold fans here as well. He's our mascot. So, let's go through all of these. So this is the set for $15.99, normally $45.95. You get the world building guide. You get the Iron Crags, Dwarves of Iron Crags. Yeah, we know it's mad at us. We get Deep Magic, the first version. We just did a big Kickstarter for that. The Tales of Zobek. And then we get the, what is this one? The Tales of what? I can't even read that. Whoop. Tales of Margrave. Margrave. Oh, paper minis. Oh, you get paper minis. Oh, okay. That's awesome. So a nice little bundle for you to get everything together and play for $15.99. So this is just on the Kobold Press Store. You click the latest deals and you can see what is available. This one lasts through the entire 18 days. This one that is free right now is only for 48 hours. So that's our first thing we got to go over today. That's the first thing. Let me show you what we're looking at here. This is our calendar for the anniversary sale. It's 17 days of discounts and freebies. So for those who are just starting with us or want new content to pick up, this is the cal. This is the calendar of everything that is going to be going on over the next 17. You can see there's nothing on the weekends because the Fridays will carry through. All right? So this is the first one. And then this is this week's release. This is today's. And then the next two. The next one is going to be a, what is this one? A freebie. And then the one after that is a 20% off of hardcover and PDF. And we'll unrelease these every day. We'll update the graphic and you'll be able to see them on our our Twitter and our Discord. I can't believe we're doing 17 days of this stuff. It seems like a lot. If you don't follow us on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, I'll be putting out shorts for them as well. So that's our first thing. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anniversary out of the way. But we obviously are all here for something else. Let's talk about the next topic on here. So we did our anniversary. Our first day. Let's look at what the first day is. Shall we take a look at what that freebie is? So this is expanding the Codex. All right. This is your expanded Codex. This is the book that is currently downloadable when you get that website up and running and ready to rock and roll. This is what we're looking at. It's a 32-page to expand your monsters. Expand your monsters from what you had once before. If you haven't had this already, this is the free one. The Bookkeeper is one of my favorites. I've actually just used this in a campaign, and it's getting ready to get used in my current live campaign over on my channels. I'm a big fan of it, but what they've done for them, so you have the Bookkeeper, they give alternate traits and actions. So have you ever had a monster where you feel like you've been using them and they're the same every time they're at your table or on screen or however it is you're using your stuff? This gives you alternate rules to kind of level them up and change them from the norm. Okay? And this has got a decent amount of them in here. And this will take us into our new Tome of Beasts as well. The remastered Tome of Beasts as well. But this is the Bookkeeper. And you can update how they normally function. So you get Creator's Mark now, which is a melee weapon. +4 to attack, 5 reach, 1 target. The Bookkeeper marks the target with an invisible rune, which it and its creator can see. So now if they're reading it, they slap you the rune if you were messing with their spell book, or maybe honestly you want to track them through a dungeon. This is a great thing to have as like the log, like when you come in and people are looking through spell books. Great way so they always know where they are to teleport monsters into a room. Not that I would ever do such a thing. No, I'd never do that. Dual bindings you can add in, anti-magic, nauseating ink. This would be a great cursed book, or this would be a really cool thing to add to your wizard's spell book. I like that. And then to go along with that, they have new magic items and spells, like the Bookkeeper Ink Pot, the Ink Splash, which is a new spell that you can get. It's a cantrip. Cantrips are something I know all wizards are always looking for. I don't know about the rest of you. I feel like I don't ever have enough spells and cantrips as a caster to pick from. I feel like everybody takes the same couple spells in 5e for cantrips. So this gives you a little bit of a new spell Ink shoots from your hand to a target. Make a ranged spell attack with your ink. On hit, the target takes 1d6 poison damage and must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or become blinded. So you're giving them the squid ink spray. Good old squid ink spray. I'm down for that. Hey, how many of you guys own this already in the audience? How many of you already have this downloaded? Anyone? I'm curious to how many of you own it. On top of that, we'll go through. There's the Devil Shark upgrade. You changed out the Devil Shark, right? To make them more than they currently are. This book, the Expanding Codex. Oh, you just got it today. Awesome. The Expanding Codex. This is the freebie today from the anniversary. Whoop, here you go. There's the link. Like I said, the site's been getting hounded, so be careful. The Moondrake. Upgrades to the Moondrake. A new Dragon Pact, alternative actions. I actually love this art. I've always been super happy with the art. Elemental Venom. And then there's new actions for them. What else we got in here? What is this? I actually am not familiar with this. Didn't know about it until just now. Well, there you go. We put out a lot of stuff. We put out a lot of stuff. We really do. Like, more than I ever expected to see when I was going through our catalog. Frostbite Scion. I love when you can... So, I'm a big fan of variant monsters for environmental. Like, they make sense that they live in that environment, have to be lava, snow, forest. So I love that they have a Frostbite variant for the Scion here. Pretty cool. An Ember Burst version. What else we got in here? What is this? What is this? It seemed to be a storm cloud. It takes the shape of a feline predator. Flashes of lightning course through its semi-solid body as it strikes with overwhelming speed. Oh, this is a new version? Okay. Well, obviously there's going to be new versions. I've never seen this before. Dude, I don't want that to be what jumps out of a storm cloud. New spell. Wall of Lightning. Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard. Ghost Dragons. This is killer. I love this art. This might become my background. Dude, that's super cool. What else we got in here? New Void Giants. This is a new alternate traits and actions for them. Gloom Flowers. What is the name of that flower that only blooms? The Corpse Flower? Is this like our version of the Corpse Flower? But I do like this. So you have this giant, right, of the Void. Then they have adventure hooks, too, for some of these monsters to give you ideas. So for a newer, or if you've never seen the monster before and you want to quickly integrate them into a story arc, we got some little adventure hooks for them. This just looks like I am watching Phantasm. If anyone knows that horror movie. This just looks like a Phantasm item. Oh, you got introduced to the Christmas Adventure Calendar. Nice! Well, definitely check our Discord if you haven't, because, man, there's a ton of people there. And with Black Flag coming out, it's a good place to get dug in as we do announcements. Right now, I believe, let me double check. We have a vote right now for our March Madness. It's through all the spells. I think we finally did it. And right now it's between Evocation and Transmutation. There's the two schools and announcements. I'm a big Transmutation fan, to be honest, over Evocation. I think Evocation's overrated. Creature Codex has some great monsters. Having expanded options like this for someone was really useful. Yeah, it just gives you... Nothing's worse than you always see a monster and they do the same thing. But let's talk about, since it's our anniversary, this is the one I was looking for. This is the one I'm looking for. Kobold Swolebold, everybody. From behind the collection of angry kobold steps the creature of size of a dwarf, bulging muscles, flexing as a kobold-like snout, twist, and a terrible grin. Alternate traits, audience-driven, overconfidence. Swolebold, yeah, you got it. Bulk out, rages after a short or long rest. Stranglehold, grappling and strangling. Look at this beefcake. Would you like a Swolebold in your den? This is awesome. So with that, coming with it, there's a new feat, which I love feats. Thick. I love feats. I think that 5e is not, like, I just think you should get feats. I think unless you're playing a gritty setting, and there's ways to make things gritty that don't take the flavor away from players. I think things like this are awesome. Strength 15 or higher, you've learned how to crush the bones of your foes, grappling, gaining the following benefits. Increase your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Your unarmed strikes do a d4 damage, so you get a little bit of like monk strike kind of feel. You can use your action to force a creature grappled by you to make a strength saving throw. The saving throw DC is 8, plus your proficiency bonus, plus your strength modifier. Anytime you're getting a mod from a stat, you're usually down to an 8 instead of a 10 for the starting DC. On failed save, you're dealing bludgeoning damage to a creature equal to twice the damage dealt by your unarmed strike. So just and grapple him into submission. This guy should be jumping out of the cake, am I right? Shouldn't be Jiro. It should be Swolebold. Jumping out of that cake. New adventure hooks for the Swolebold. So you can get the idea though. This is just little added versions to alter up the pissed off. Is that a ferret? A weasel. Pissed off albino weasels. And you can kind of upgrade the monsters that are in there, right? Pretty nice little addition to your current book. So this is the expanding Codex. You can download it from the site right now. It is free, part of our anniversary sale. And then we will have one tomorrow as well. I'll put this up on screen. I saw we had some new people come in. This is the freebie today. They last 48 hours. Freebie tomorrow, and then a sale drops on Friday, and that's 20% off of a PDF and book together, hardcover, and that will last through the weekend for everybody. And that's what's going to happen every week. So next week's will be Monday through Friday. Get what I'm saying? So lots of stuff. Yes, AW, free. 17 days of this stuff, and then below, like I showed a little earlier, I could do it again. I feel like I'm on QVC right now. I feel a little QVC-ish right now. Everybody, would you like to buy this limited time? let me get rid of that. Let me see if the site's working. She's been struggle bussing with me. So this is the free one right now. And then there is a 65% off one for all of these in one. This world building guide is one of my favorite books to date. Like, I've been using mine. They sent me new ones, but I have one sitting on my shelf. This is one of my favorite books of all time from Kobold Press. Any of the world building stuff, any of these little ones I can throw in my bag when I'm traveling and read. And it's a black and white journal. But it does a good walkthrough. Actually, let me read the back of this to you. I actually don't like reading text to people a lot, but I'll do it for you. The essential elements for building a world. Role-playing games and fantasy fiction are filled with rich and fascinating worlds, the Forgotten Realms, I don't know this one, Narnia, R'lyeh, Middle-earth, Barsoom, and so many others. It took starting leaps of imagination as well as careful thought and planning to create places like these, places that readers and players want to come back to again and again. Now, 11 of the adventuring... Oh, that's a bad glare. Now, 11 of Adventure's gaming top designers come together to share their insights and building worlds that gamers will never forget. Learn the secrets of designing a pantheon, creating a setting that provokes conflict, determining which historical details are necessary, and so much more. Then take that creative leap and create dazzling worlds of your own. And this is one, and then there's a second one as well. I think normally these retail for like $20. Yeah, $19.99. So there's the first one, and then later on, there's another one. And like I said, we're going to do a dive into all these later. This is this one as well. This is World Building Volume 2. Same thing. This one is creating pantheons, incorporating technology in your fantastical environments. Build great settings that look beyond our own history and cultural expectations, which is hard. I will tell if you've ever had to build a set piece, it's super hard not to just use our world as the reference for all of it. So that's a good tip to have something like that to help. Design a world in 30 minutes. Anytime I have to do a playtest, like I promise you for Black Flag, once all the playtest stuff starts coming out and my group, my internal crew starts playing it, we are going to 100%, we are going to be doing something with that. So I'll probably make my own world in like 30 minutes or less so we can play in it. And then leave space when building a world so characters can help bring it alive. I believe in the canon rule. If you've never used the canon rule, I don't mean canon's like, I mean canon is in like it is now canon, like Star Wars, you know, canon. When we're playing a game, if a player says they want to do something, and I say, is that about your character? Like, oh yeah, my sister is part of the militia here. Well, is that canon? And they go, yeah, that's canon. I write down that their sister is now part of militia. So now they've helped add something to the world. I canonize stuff with the players all the time. It lets them have skin in the game and feel like they're involved. It's a great little trick. And honestly, it takes some of the weight off of your shoulders as a GM, hoping you're making what the players want. It allows the players to inject something and make it as well. So if you never use that, I highly recommend it. So that's the short on that. So that's our lovely piece that we have, our first day, and that's what's going on. So let's look at the next part, shall we? So that's our first day. All right, everybody. Tome of Beasts Remastered. How many of you have heard through the grapevine about Tome of Beasts Remastered? Has anyone here been looking forward to this? I know we got hit hard with people going, "Ooh, when are we getting this?" It's been a long time in the making. It's been a really, really long time in the making. Like, more than I would have expected. So, with that said, I have a little bit of a write-up given to me to talk about the differences between these two, because our staff was like, yo, if you're going to do this, let me make sure you are up to date. Got to remember to put a few Swolebolds in my Zobek campaign? Absolutely, Dabbler. Absolutely. So let me open up this doc. This is from the team on the differences between the old Tome of Beasts and the new one. And I got a little something special. We're going to get to look at it today. I actually have our internal preview, and I was given the A-OK to show it off today. The reason being, you'll find out. You guys, for those who are looking forward to more beastie stuff, you'll be pretty happy. So I'm going to read this little revisited thing. Tome of Beasts Revisited, or Remastered as we're calling it right now, going out. Megan had written this up and given it to me. Since 2016, we've learned a lot about monsters, monster design, and what people like to see their books filled with monsters. It was this knowledge that drove us to revisit the first in our series of monster books, Tome of Beasts, which is the very first Tome of Beasts. Those who are Kobold Press people, been around for a while, we are known for putting out really, really cool monster books. Like, you could never touch anybody else's monster book products and have monsters for the rest of your 5e career. There's so many. And we make them in pocket size as well, which is hella cool. Pocket size are the ones that are like this, but thicker. We make ours like that, so they're easy to travel, set at the table. They don't take up as much space. So that's our first Tome of Beasts book we're talking about. So we're refreshing the classic, and they say refreshing a classic is never easy, but sometimes it's necessary. Though we know many of the creatures needed an update, we also knew many of these creatures have had impacts on your players, your games, and your adventures. These monsters are loved by many of you. Okay, maybe some players don't love them as much. I think that's true. I think GMs are in love with monsters more than players are. As a GM, I know I love monsters dearly. But we wanted to make sure we keep in mind revisiting this in Tome of Beasts. So we updated it. We're updating Tome of Beasts in a big way. So we have some example changes, and it looks like Dot is giving me the okay to showcase these changes. So let me see if I can pull it up on screen for you. What do you guys say? Do we want to just look at the doc? Let me see what we got. Let me see the mighty stuff we have. Where did she give this to me at? Beans, spill 'em! I'm trying, my friend. I'm trying. Where did Dot drop this to me? Oh, someone just gave me a heads up. Okay, never mind. That doesn't relate to today. Let me grab. What was this under? This is under Dot. Okay, so let me grab the one that was sent to me, and we will pull up the reply. All right, I'm gonna download it and we're gonna pop it up, and I think I can drop this on into OBS pretty quick, as long as OBS doesn't decide it hates me, because we know how OBS has hated us so far today, right? Open the container. Open this up. Okay, I mean, I got it open. Let's see if I can quickly bring this into OBS without it getting mad, swearing at me, blowing up. You know, all those lovely things that it does. And this is just text, by the way. This is just text. Okay. So let me do a capture, and we'll bring it into here. This is going to be docx. Click OK. I'll probably have to resize it. Hey, look, it got it for us right away. Let's drop this down, and we'll make this fit on screen. All right, can you guys see that? Can everyone see that pretty well? You know, I am not allowed to say that, Frog Princess. What I can tell you is Tome of Beasts has been, the remastered, or revisited as it says on here, but it's called the remastered, has been in process for some time. I can tell you that all of our 5e content that we produce runs parallel to 5e, coming up for Black Flag. And what that means is it's not a 1-for-1 conversion, but it is 100% convertible. It's just not a 1-for-1. But I will say that when you see new designs come from us, just think we are planning for forward movement. Is that the proper terms? We'll have the new revised spellcasting actions. Again, I mean, those are new, right? So we'll see what happens. I can tell you that you should be excited for the playtest packet that comes out this month. There's going to be some cool stuff in that. I think everyone's going to be pretty excited for that. Without me saying anything that gets me in trouble. So there's some cool stuff in it. So the goal of this, and I want to, again, speaking of spellcasting, another way to accomplish this goal, to the upgrade Tome of Beast 1 into the remastered version of it, was to reduce or remove the amount of spell casting that appeared on many of the creatures. In doing this, we gave many of the creatures a clearer mechanical focus, made them more straightforward to run for game masters, and gave them alternatives to spell casting, far more varied options in combat. Spells are now there to help supplement a creature's natural abilities rather than existing as primary, sometimes only, combat actions. I think every GM here knows you open up a stat block, oh, this is such a big stat block and it's good, and you go, oh, it's first through 6 level spells that you could have just gave the creature. Like, if you wanted them to have spell casting as a GM, just give them spells. Instead, we're giving them abilities to kind of back the style and feel of the creature, right, of the monster. So we talk a little bit about that in this here. So this is, we have 2 samples of creatures received and updates, the latest version of Tome of Beasts. I think this is Baganik and Lorelei. I'm bad at names. The Baganik had a healing oil that was a bit wordy and involved the Creatures smearing some of the restorative oil sections on injured creatures. To make it a bit clearer, we moved it to action sections, adjusted it to work similarly to the healing type actions on other creatures in our more recent books, like the Shamrosh and Tome of Beasts 2, Healing Lick, or the Sacred Hippopotamus in Tome of Beasts 3, Healing Rumble. Healing Oil still heals and removes poison and disease from the target, while also retaining its potential downside of slowing down the target. So we're basically cleaning them up. There's going to be a cleaner stat block. If you have like Tome of Beasts 3, you've noticed the stat blocks have gotten a lot smoother and a lot cleaner as we go through. But this is the medium aberration, natural armor, your hit points, your stat block across, your perception, dark vision, passive perception, your challenge rating, and then we get into the healing oil. I almost said heat oil. Automatically stabilize a dying creature by using this action to smear some of its oily secretion on a dying creature's flesh. A similar application on the already stable creature, or one with one or more hit points actions as a potion of healing, restoring 2d4 plus 2 hit points. Alternatively, the Baggy Nick's secretion can have the effect of a lesser restoration spell. However, any creature receiving the healing must make a successful DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be slowed for 1 minute. You know what I would love to see in monsters? I would love to see the phonetical spellings, so you're pronouncing them correctly. Am I the only one who wants that for monsters? Is there any theme or idea behind each monster book? Oh, you mean like Tome of Beasts 1, Tome of Beasts 2, Tome of Beasts 3? I'm going to say no. I don't think there is. That's a really good question. And because it's a good question, as I'm going to write it down. We are going to find out for everybody. Is there a theme? And I do have some other information bringing back about the City Builder guide that we talked about last week. Yeah, I don't think there is. I don't think. And that's just me from my memory, not from like internal knowledge. I don't think there was a theme. I think the first one was getting as many beasts out as possible, because I remember that releasing. Well, you know what we can do? We can look at the back of the books, because the back of the books might say there's a theme. So this is the original, right? That's the wordiness of the heal here. It's kind of messy. The new stat blocks look like this. And you notice that there's no proficiency bonus here, right? The new stat block has the proficiency bonus. Because I want to know that in case I want to do something outside of the scope of the monster, or I want to add things to it as a GM. That proficiency bonus is baked into traditional monsters. We pulled it out and gave it a space and the stat block for the GM to be able to make it important. So I'm excited to see all of the monsters redone this way. And we've already seen that in Tome of Beasts 3. They're very different. They're very updated. So you can see now what they've done is they gave you your attacks first. They gave you your acid spray. And if we go up here, it had an acid spray here as well. Right? Still here. They cleaned it up a little bit. And then the 3 times a day, healing oil. Now it's the Baggy Nick applies healing oil to a creature it can see within 5 foot of it. The target magically regains 2d6 HP. And I gave you an average here in case you don't want to do math. Like, for my rule for averages is like, if I'm really busy and there's just a slew of monsters on the field and things going on, I will always use the average. If it's a big, impactful moment, or if it's outside of combat and I want to roll some dice, I haven't rolled anything for the randomness in a while, I'll go to the chaos dice, you know, the randomness of dice. But I use the average when I'm deep into a situation where I just need a number. And I will always use the average, or I'll roll 2d6 if I have time. But then, freed from any disease or potion, the target must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw, or speed is halved, and it takes a -2 penalty to AC and Dexterity saving throws for 1 minute. So you can see how they've swapped between those two, right? And then the same thing, this is a creature with excessive spell casting and little focus. spite of its ability to manipulate targets, it was hitting well below its weight class. To better focus the creature on its themes of charming and manipulation, we tightened up the language and alluring presence for clarity, removed the charm action to reduce redundancy between charm and alluring presence, because it was pretty redundant. I do remember this creature now. And adjust a stunning glance to be more useful for Lorelei. Yeah, it's Lorelei. That's what it is. But not debilitating for PCs. We also removed the dagger attack as it fell out of place. Lorelei's didn't make sense for it. So this is the original Fey creatures. A medium Fey, chaotic evil, all your stat blocks, challenge rating 5, right? Look at this thing. So you got like the alluring presence, you had the unearthly grace, you had water spirit, which means freedom of movement when it's in water, and then you had spell casting. So then you're going and you're looking all this up just to run the creature. You got to have all these spells ready, right? Then it had charm on top of the alluring presence. So DC charisma save, DC wisdom save. It was just, there was a lot of redundancy. And this one, again, we updated. We put the proficiency bonus here. We kept the alluring presence. You can see we have cleaned up the verbiage between the two to make them a little cleaner to run. We've dropped all the spells and we've given them powers that matter. So on screen, I can see this is, let me space this up so you can see it. I had to add some return lines there. You can see here that we gave it a psychic blast now, a corrupting kiss, a stunning glance, and we basically ditched this. And we took the most important things that tie to the monster, and we gave them a range attack. We gave them a stunning glance. We kept that. We gave them a corrupting kiss. So we really kind of cleaned up the verbiage on how they function. With that said, everybody, I have something fun to show you. We don't need to save it. I hope y'all ready. So, I was given our internal preview for Tome of Beasts 1 Remastered. Y'all ready? So, this doesn't have the cover dress on it or anything like that. But it does have our monsters. So, this is the new remastered. Our hyperlinkage isn't in here yet or anything like that because this is still in process. Oh, you weren't ready? Okay, hold on. How about now? You ready now? Dio, you good? Yeah? Yeah? All right. So we have updated everything, all of our contents. These will all be hyperlinked things later, but they're not right now. We have alignment, creature behavior now that we've added in, your languages. We've fixed some just general stuff from this book being older and updated it to what we want. And our goal was to refresh the classic, to make something that we already loved into something new. For example, first off, I love the aboleth. It's one of my favorite creatures. Someone remind me to tell the story of aboleth falling when I get a chance. I haven't told that story in a long time. But we've updated our monsters to give them better stat blocks, easier to look at, right? I mean, I'll even zoom this in a little bit more. Easier to look at. Fill the page properly here. Come on. I guess I can't do that. It's chopping it off. I'll have to keep it at this size. I apologize. But we've put the proficiency bonus in everywhere. We've cleaned up how the stat block reads. We got rid of duplicates of powers that didn't make sense. We got rid of a lot of the extra spell casting that didn't make sense. We've given them better abilities, right? And we've updated this book. So I'm gonna scroll through so you all can see. Is there a monster from Tome of Beasts 1 that anyone would like to see so we can look at the difference? Is there anyone that somebody really would like to have hands-on with for the updates? Does someone have a favorite from Tome of Beasts 1? I mean, first off, the Fey Lord? All right. I don't think this is bookmarked yet, so we're going to have to do the old scrolly. Was that him? I think that was him, right? Feylord, the River King. Actually, let's just go look at the page number. Let's do this the right way. Let's look up the page number. Feylord. Feylady. This one? Which one? The Rainforest King? Abba? Or Malibu? Which one do you want? Oh, the Moonlit King. Moonlit King. Am I missing him? Where does he fall under? Do you know? Here, we'll do this. It is a Feylord. Okay, okay. We were in the right space. We use the word moon a lot, everybody. We'll stop searching. So it wasn't Fey. I'll go back to him. Feylord. I see. Maybe he's not in here yet? Am I missing him? I see the Fey Coral Queen, Countess, Mother, Rainforest. He must be. Is he one of those? You might have a title. You might have a title. Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. It may not be in here yet. I'm looking through them. We'll go through all of them. So this is the Queen, the River King, the Snow Queen. Yeah, the Feywild. Nah, I don't think he's in here yet. I don't see him. I love this little creature. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm looking here. Did dragons change? I mean, we could look for you. What dragons we got in this book. Let's look and see what dragons we got. Page 190. Well, let's just go check that first. So that's the Folk of Lang, the Forest Marauder, Frostvale. Now, it doesn't look like the pages line up between the two because of the editing, because of it being new. So let's go to 2. Let's look at the drags. Dragons and Drakes start at 140. Let's take a look at dragons, shall we? We obviously got to look at kobolds. So your Drakes... Crimson Drake is familiars. I love when we add blocks for familiars. Deep Drakes. So yeah, they did. They took away, like, the spells are gone. We updated them with abilities instead. Do I have Tome of Beasts stuff here? It might be in my basement. I have, like, a whole bunch of my 5e stuff next to my gaming table. But it looks like their breaths changed, too. Some breath weapon changed. There's some new bonus actions in here. Let's see if my favorite dragon's in here yet. Yeah, oh yeah, they're definitely not all in here yet. The dragons in earlier books, earlier in the book than Drakes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking to see if they were all here. I was matching the names. We're definitely still adding guys in. You know what I mean? Like, because that list of them, there were so many more. Yep, golems too. I just wanted to see what was there. But we start at 140. This is like where the prismatics are. So this is your coral drake. So you can see they're not in here yet. Your drakes are here. Drake, dragonleaf, dragonette lanterns. Here we go. Here you go. Wind. Who was a pain? The eye golem was a pain to check? Sure, we can look at that. I mean, I love seeing what they are, see if they're easier. Oh, that art, though. Oh. So we flavored them up. We added, obviously we got our layer actions. I know some of these are a little different. We have regional effects now. This is dope. I don't remember regional effects being in the other one, do you? I don't know if they were. Ancient Void Dragon. Legendary actions. Breath. Reactions. That's really cool. I like the not having 1,000 spells in front of my face that I'm trying to get off. You wanted to look at Golem or Golem Eye? Is that the one you said? I see Chain, Ice, Origami Tar, Storykeeper. I don't see a Golem Eye in here. Was he from the first one? I thought Eye Golem was from the second one. Let's do 210. Ah, fuck. Oops. Come on, 210. Well, help if I can type. Let's see here. Golems. Is it this one here? This is what you're looking for? I think it's that one, right? There you go. So, what do we got here? Covered in arcane, eye golems stand at least 10 foot tall. Their magically durable hide is covered with real eyes as well as arcane sigils that resemble eyes. Blinds victim, and eye golem rarely kills its victim, choosing to steal its victim's eyes instead. The victims are left blind, wandering, and tormented, seeing only visions of the eye golem flashing through their memories. This drives some mad, while the others instead choose to serve the golem, becoming devoted to one who still holds sight. Yo. All eyes open. When killed, an eye golem does not simply fall down dead. All of its eyes open at once, and blinding bursts of light shines from the body. When the light stops, hundreds of perfectly preserved eyeballs remain where its body fell, still warm, fresh, and without scars or damage. Detectable only by those trained in the arcane arts, each eye emits a barely perceivable beam of light connecting to its owner. Creature that holds the golem's central eye after it is slain can use the eye to restore stolen eyes to their victims. Okay, I like that. So you said you took away the shoot it in the sun, which was wise. I don't actually know what that one was. What did that do? So you got blinding demise. And it has more of a eye tyrant, is what I will say, until the SRD stuff is finalized and we can use the true word that everybody wants. You know what I mean? So the golem reduces the creature's 0 hit points. It can blind the creature permanently if it does. Construct nature. Immutable form. The golem is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form. Light infused fists. The golem's slam attacks are magical. When a golem hits with a slam attack, it deals an extra 48 radiant damage. Oh yeah, so now what they did to blind is he, when he hits a 0, it'll blind you, but they gave him actions. So I think this is probably what it is now. Right? The golem opens all of its eyes and emits a burst of blinding light. Each creature within 30 feet. Let's make a DC 17. DC 17 dexterity saving throw. On a failure, the creature takes 35 or 10d6 radiant damage and is blinded for 1 minute. So now they've just baked it into an ability. So much cleaner. So what we're basically doing is cutting out old design that is antiquated and upgrading it to new design that matches what we want out of a book. You know what I mean? And they feel, is it me or does this make them feel more They feel way more individualized now. Yeah, you know what? That's one of the best things, Frog, from 4th edition is the bestiary. I can't argue that. That bestiary was a solid bestiary. Monsters, I have a design philosophy where I feel what the players get, what the GMs get need to be different. You need to give options for players to be able to make their characters and have fun stuff. But a GM needs to be able to do their job of running a game and telling a story, collaborating with the table without getting lost in the sauce of having to look things up all the time. That's my feeling as a GM. That's why I had cards at the table and things like that. This really helps mitigate that hunt and peck mentality as a GM where you're, hold on a minute, everybody, let me look up this monster's spell. You just go, oh, this dude's got a dope ability that I can use. And it takes care of all of my problems. Way better in my eyes, personally. Someone said they wanted to see what? Mammon? I think that was the other one that was in here that someone wanted to see. The Devil Mammon? Sure, we can look him up. We can do that. We got some more stuff to talk about. And I get to tell you about the book. There's some fun stuff. Exactly, Myth. It feels like the monsters get their abilities out before they're alpha striked at the beginning of the round. You know what I mean? When they have a dope ability, I can't find the answer. If it was that easy, we'd be in a different job. All right, so let's look at Devils. Let me bring us back over. Devils. Is Mammon in here? I'm not seeing him. Let's go to 117 and click through, just in case, because like I said, this is still a work in progress. Let's get to Devils. Let's flip through here. Yeah, like our pages aren't even lined up or anything yet. We gotta go backwards. Hopefully I don't crash what we're looking at here. Salt. Horus. Lunar. Whoa, dude. Is that thing straight from Pitch Black? That looks like it's from Pitch Black. Doesn't it? Hey, Todd. Jake Bacon in chat. Who do you think this might be in our Monday game? Just saying. I don't see him in here. Do not see him in here. We'll keep looking. We'll scroll back. Nope. Not in here yet. I do not see Mr. Mammon in here yet. So still in process. Did you? Awesome. Yeah, that thing's all done. We had a little snafu with dates. We fixed it and got everything fixed for everybody. I'm stoked. I want to look at them, but I don't get to look at them until they're sifted through. Because I would love to present the best of, if they'll let me do it. If they'll let me present the best of, I would be all in to do that on a chat if they let me. But I gotta ask. They're being a little... They're really secretive. Like, no one's allowed to look at anything. It's just these judges. There's not people in the company that do it. They want to make sure we are not involved at all. Which is fine. You know, they don't want us to sway anything. I was thinking Mammon maybe was in the M's. Maybe he was named, but I don't see him. I don't see him. I want to see one of my favorite things from this book. So these are really OG monsters, right? But I want to see the Void Knight. Is it 386? I want to see the Void Knight. Is he in here? Dang, he's not in here yet. I love the Void Knight. I was hoping he'd hear. Oh, by the way, murder machine. That is what these ostriches are. They are murder machines. If you've never used one in your game. You know, Dragon, I cannot argue that. I do really love those books. My favorite old school book from 2nd edition was the Eye Tyrant Beholder book. That was one of my favorite books of all time. Like the ecology of, I love the ecology series. I do miss the ecology series a lot. But yeah, so this isn't, again, this isn't 100% complete, but you can see that most of it is done, right? You can see most of it is done. So what I can tell you though, let me pull this up. I can give you when the pre-order date is. You heard that right, by the way. Pre-order, not Kickstarter. So people always say, why does everyone go to Kickstarter? We went, okay, we hear you. It's a pre-order. Pre-orders are going to start this month. So I was told I can show it the PDF. It becomes available for pre-order March 7th. So during all of our anniversary and everything else, March 7th, it becomes available for pre-order and will release very soon after, is what I will say. There is a loose date that has been set from our meetings, and I think I'm allowed to give you the month. I don't want to get in trouble. So let me see if I can give you the month, everybody. Right? That's fair. If I just give you a month, that's fair. I'm going to be mad about that, right? So it looks like we are looking at March 7th pre-order date is when it starts. There will be, here's the key things. Releasing all at the same time, the hardcover book, the limited edition book, the pocket guide, which usually doesn't release at the same time, and the PDF. Those are all going to release at the same time, which is not a common thing. Normally, you have to wait for the pocketbook afterwards. And I believe we're saying it's going to be, I think they said May or June, before summer. We'll know more on the 7th when the pre-order goes out. We'll have our delivery time frame on it. But I believe that's what they're saying. Let me look up ToB. Yeah. We're aiming for a late May release is what we're aiming for, depending on printing. But March 7th is the pre-order. I'm excited to see this because I believe, because I don't know this. This is my preconceived trend. I think we're seeing the beginning of how we're going to make Black Flag stuff look. That's my belief. That's my belief. I think we're taking all the polish we've put on everything over the years and we're showcasing them. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So March 7th, put it in your books. Pre-orders will open. If it changes for some reason, I'll let you know. But right now, we've been working on this for a while. That's why I'm able to show off this much of a book. We've been putting it all together and reformatting it and doing everything. I mean, this book is 423 pages and it isn't even done. Look at this. This is nuts. So, that's the big thing I wanted to tell you all. March 7th, that is our loose release date for Tome of Beasts 1 Remastered. It is a pre-order. It is the main book, the limited edition, the pocket book, and the PDF shipping before summer. Yeah. And this isn't even the cover art. So, that's that. That's that, everybody. We got a couple more things to talk about today. We're not done. I want to talk about the blog. If you guys have been missing out on our blog, our articles for our blog, this is pretty dope. We've been doing, if I can get the website to run, you guys have been crashing our website. Crashing it. Hard. See if I can load it. There we go. Let me bring it up. Whoop. So, We are doing a series called TV to Tabletop. We're bringing fantastic items from your favorite series into tabletop. If you've watched the League of Legends Arcane animated, awesome. If you haven't, you should. And we put together magical items to match items from the show. So if you're watching a show and you go, man, I wish I had that in my game, we got you. We got you. We're doing different things for each show. So for this one, you can see TV to Tabletop, Arcane. We made the Atlas gauntlets. Those are Vi's gauntlets. Crystal bombs. I believe these are either Twitch or Jinx. Hex crystals, which hex stuff is just normal. No, just wait. Hex normal. The Mercury hammer is that big hammer that splits and does the different attacks. So you got a shockwave attack and the Mercury cannon launcher, Shimmer and Zapper. So if you haven't seen this, this is the new things. And Shimmer is the drug. A purple liquid glows with the eerie light. When you drink this potion, your strength becomes 21. You gain 2d4 plus 2 hit points, and you gain 2d4 plus 2 temporary hit points for 1 hour. In addition, when you consume this potion, you ignore the effects of any exhaustion levels you currently still have. Wait, why is it crashing? And you take 2d4 plus 4 necrotic damage and gain 1 level of exhaustion. Pretty awesome little piece. For those who want to look at that, this is the Arcane release. I'll just put it in our chat. On top of that, we did a Wizard's Playbook, Magic Circle. So Magic Circle's undergone multiple iterations through the years, yet remains a popular choice for spellcasters summoning and controlling creatures. I love Magic Circle. This is one of my favorite spells as a wizard to summon things, make sure things go right, to protect myself. We've revamped this. Don't know why you would be seeing this with Deep Magic finished and all that kind of jazz, but circles of elemental warding. You got our Circle of Air, Circle of Earth, Circle of Fire, Circle of Water, versions of them. At higher levels, so you can cast a spell using slot level 7th or higher, the duration increases for 1 hour for each slot above 6th. Circle of Fiendish Agony, Binder's Blade to help bind somebody. You know what we're talking. You know what dagger that is. You know what it is. Simmer, yeah, Zap, right? Zap is from my home games, if people are wondering what the heck he's talking about. It's one of my home games. It makes it so you can stay up all night and do your studying, but you do turn into a choker after too many uses. Because I said, why not? So this is the new piece that's here. And then on top of that, Hunting and Chases and Margrave. This piece here, remember, in that $65 down to, I think it was like 14, right, for our special edition, the Margrave piece is in there. And then, of course, we have our Project Black Flag Friday, Core Fantasy Roleplay. This is pretty big. We are updating every single Friday, putting out how our Black Flag stuff works. I know everybody has questions about Black Flag. That's like a big thing in general. This is the Core Fantasy Roleplay. This is for people who want to be able to make things using Project Black Flag in the future. It is called the Core Fantasy Roleplay. We just did a quick breakdown on the title, your branding, creative team, and then just that our logo has to go on it. But down here, dang it, stop it. It talks about get involved, right? As a breakdown. And if you didn't know this, we have a FAQ. This is a living FAQ. We're going to be updating it as we get through all of the submissions, because we just closed submissions this week for packet 1. And we're going to keep updating this with new information, all right? You can still get the link for playtest 1 here. I sure can. Boom. So this is playtest 1. This also has packet 1. And I want to point out, in case you all ain't been paying attention here, you're paying attention, packet 2, remember how I said you're going to be happy? The person who was asking about spells earlier? Can you imagine why I said that? We're getting wizards and fighters, baby. I do have a question for everybody. For those who are used to the content that I produce for other channels, I love doing interactive games, interactive streams where the audience gets to roll. How would you all like to do an interactive dungeon crawl on one of our Kobold chats to test out the new Project Black Flag Live? So when this Wizard and Fighter comes out, if it comes out with something that is playable, how would you all like to do a little bit of a dungeon run? Do a little dungeon crawl. Do a little testy test. Maybe go find someone's Dungeon 23 and do a test of their Dungeon 23. And I'll convert stuff live because I'm fine with that. So if you've been around for any of my other shows, we've done this numerous times. Of course you can AW if Magic Missile is in the spell list for the playtest. I'll make sure that that is a thing, that it can happen. But I like doing interactive content. I like you being able to play along with us. And I figure that's a fun way for everyone to be able to crack the packet open and play together. We already have some dice rolls that are available in here, but I'll add the full polyhedral set and I'll dissect it. But if I get my hands on it beforehand, we might be able to do it this month, depending on what content is in there. And we can kind of play through and have some fun. Because for the anniversary, I was going to do a dungeon crawl for us all. But since it's 17 days, I don't want to be live 17 days. So I'm doing something else with it to make it fun. But I think the concept of us playing live could be kind of cool. Yeah, all right, we got some people. Yeah, B-Dice 3, get out of here, AW. I made a custom. Actually, my friend made a custom piece. So the Mix-It-Up bot could roll the correct dice on the screen that we needed, and it would roll the PNGs and pull them up for the show, right? And this clown has been saying B-Dice 3 on every show I've been on for as long as I know. You have, that's true. So this is the FAQ. You can still download packet 1, right? The feedback is over, though. I think the forum, let's click it and find out. Yeah, the forum feedback is gone because we closed that out. So this is here, right? This is important. This is important. Swolebold. We all know this, man. We just looked at him. So these are pretty cool. If you've not looked at this stuff, this is cool. And we're going to continue this TV to tabletop series. We have some really cool ones coming up. I would like to remind everybody today is Mandalorian Season 3 release, hence the Star Wars hat, in case you missed that. So that'll be going on as well. We're going to keep doing TV to tabletop trends. Magic Circle Revisited. I have not looked at this. This is new to me. Oh, the Thrill of a Hunt. So revisiting Margrave's status. If you play the status mechanics, see Midgar Worldbook, you might find that hunting within Margrave can affect the score. Here are a few status relevant hunting actions and the result you can expect from them. So now we got like hunting rules. We have chase table in here for chase mechanics. Very cool. And then somewhere in here, we never talked about this. I'm going to link this as well. We had Celeste on the show. She, what was it? Conwich crumble cookies, I think is what we were talking about calling them. But this is her design diary. And I think we're going to see more of these as they go along with the playtest packet. If you missed that, I would highly recommend looking on it. And we take a hard stance here, everybody. We take a pretty like, yo, this is what we're here for. So the biggest one is it's time for the monopoly on D&D to end. This is widely exciting time to make tabletop RPGs as we stare down the possibility of an RPG future not ruled by one game master under the control of a master company. Lord of the Rings taught us it is bad. Right? Kind of cool. I'm excited for it. Personally. I'm asking about something else for us right now. So I wrote a Celeste Cookie Crumble spell for Deep Magic and learned I could only submit one spell. You should just post it somewhere. Send it to me. Send it to me. I'll use it. I have an idea already. I'll use it live on stream. So anyway, it's time for the Monopoly and D&D to end. Very strong words. I do agree with the stance. We want 5.5, not 1 D&D. We love 5e here. We want to upgrade 5e into the future we believe it deserves. We've seen this with previous game systems and the revitalization of 3.5 into other companies like PF1, what they did with them. We want to do the same thing for 5e. So we want to make something that runs parallel and builds a better version of 5e. Right? So that's the concept behind here. Obviously, she has her words here that you can read as well for it. And then, what are we changing? This is important. This is very important. You heard me. We're changing stuff that needs to be changed. And doing it in a way that respects your current 5e library. And keeps it useful. That's what we mean when we say the mystic words, backwards compatible. I like to say it runs parallel. It's not a 1-for-1, backwards compatible. I remember the Xbox years when everyone said, don't worry, all your stuff on Xbox is going to be usable afterwards. And we never got all of our damn game library. You're going to be able to use your 5e stuff. It's just not a 1-for-1 transition. And honestly, if you've been GMing for a while, you know you can transition anything from any system into the system you want with just a little bit of work. But I think we're trying to make it easier for you, right? So our goal is to change stuff and then give you clear instructions to help you keep using your current 5e material that might no longer be a perfect fit with what we well-needed changes are done. This refresh thing's ridiculous. We're also trying to do that in a way that, well, I can't talk. We're also trying to do that in a way that won't make PCs or GMs want to cry in frustration. We know that conversions are a pain. And if it's so difficult, oof. We're trying to make it easy for you. And I love that as a perpetual GM, the 99.99% GMing. Those are some of the big ass, but we're trying to do it all the way because you, a fellow D&D lover, deserve it all. And I mean, Celeste is amazing and the design team is amazing here. And I do agree with that as a full-time, content creator and GM. If I can convert easily, I'm way more likely to use your stuff. I think that's what we're trying to do. Oh, good old days. How Black Flag gives 5e power to the people. People say, but why? The SRD is in Creative Commons now. We invite you to re-look at the SRD and note just how much beloved 5e stuff is not in it. So, it is in Commons now, but it is true. It's a slippery slope, man. The SRD is a rough one right now. It's not easy to use. It's not easy to create around. For the day-to-day player, it doesn't affect you as much as the people who are doing creating and publishing. And we wanted to be able to not only support people who are playing the product as players and consumers, but the people who are creating as well. Hence the core fantasy and what we're doing. So we wanted to make sure they're supported as well. So for example, do you want to play a champion fighter until the end of time? Neither do we. So we're making different versions of those things. You can't say certain words properly. List of the things other Kobold designers and I are creating as replacements for the great core rulebook bits that we all wish were SRD. Alternatives for the player handbook subclasses missing from the SRD. Reimagining the feats missing from the SRD and talents. Spoiler alert, it's all of them except Grappler. Lore text for every monster in SRD. Only stat blocks are in the SRD. We're gonna fix all the lore. Playtest packet 1. They talk through it. It's a shorter one. That's already out. I don't know, Frog. Streamlined presentation of information. You saw that today when we looked at Tome of Beasts Remastered. Just the baseline of things that we're doing to make it easier. We want you to be able to sit down on a table and run a game without feeling like you're overwhelmed trying to disseminate information. Anything else other than that? Introducing a talent system. Now choose a lineage and a heritage to really vary your what we know as race in 5e. Lineage and heritage are replacing and really kind of flavoring what you want to play. Introducing the talent system. We're putting talents as out of rule. Super awesome. I'm super excited for that. I hope that we see more of that soon. I want to see what the talent system is going to look like over the overhaul, so I'm excited for that as a player and as a GM mostly. We're reworking backgrounds. Can we talk for a minute here? So I'm running a 5e show right now. It's the first 5e stream I've done. I run a lot of stuff. It was the first 5e stream I ran. I've had a lot of 5e off camera. And I said this, I think, last show. Bond's ideals and flaws are the least used, but the most character sheet consuming piece ever. Like, the margins of a character sheet almost serve more purpose than Bond's ideals and flaws. And I've been trying to find new ways to make them worthwhile with how I like reinforce you playing to your character's edge, you know, their ideals and flaws to get your inspiration. But man, I hope the background rework that we do does some really cool stuff also, because now you ever look at backgrounds, really all people look at is what skills do I get and what kit do I get. That's all they do. I really want backgrounds to have some of that cool flavor, because there are ones out there that have amazing flavor text where it's like, anytime you go into a city and you're part of this organization, you can ask for housing and they'll give you a place, or you know an NPC. Those story pieces are way cooler than just, you get athletics and acrobatics. I love the flavor text. I hope we bring more of that when we get into the backgrounds, like really start digging into it. So what is Kobold Design Team working on? Making the rules easier to read and understand, providing tools to reduce GM burden, encounter building tool, exploration encounter tools, social encounter tools. We all know the encounter system in 5e is hot garbage. We all know this. It's not good. If you've tried to build using CR and encounters, does not turn out. On top of that, we are rebalancing a whole lot of existing junk. Especially feats and classes, providing opportunities for PCs to make meaningful choices at higher levels, and making spellcasting feel cooler. Does Project Black Flag plan on having a starter set? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to write that down. And I'm assuming you're saying like what we've seen with Pathfinder and D&D over the years. Is that what you're talking about, Frog? I'm looking over here. My whole table is a dry erase board. The whole table, so I'm just writing it down. So I just wanted to touch base. So this thing that we did, I think you're going to see one of these from Celeste and maybe even other design team members. I'm not positive on that part, but I know Celeste for sure. You're going to see more of these come out as Black Flag continues to be put out and published with our packets. And again, we showed you Wizard and Fighter are going to be in the next packet, and that's this month. So pretty cool. I just wanted to point these out because I know there's so much information everywhere. I wanted to make sure people weren't missing the stuff on the blog. Jeff and his team do a great job adding things to this to keep people up to date. Obviously, our Discord is another great way to have access to all the things that we do over there. So that's a lot. The last thing I have is join the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join it. People are in there all the time talking. I believe, if I remember correctly, let me pull this up. The AMA for Deep Magic has been on fire all the way up through the 23rd. People have just been posting in there. Posting. So if you were looking for a fun way to have information and have a community to talk to that also loves what Kobold Press does and wants to be involved in Black Flag, there's a lot of people there doing stuff. A lot of people doing things there. So join up there, ask questions, do stuff. I will always answer whatever questions I can on the show. I write my stuff down. If you guys have questions, I bring it back to them. Last week, and that's the big thing I want to answer, is questions. People asked about the City Builder game, the Cities and Towns book if there was a form fill PDF. I was informed that there is a form fill PDF and we should see it shortly. So it should be out really soon. I don't have a date, but I would imagine it shouldn't take too long. Actually, if you want to bear with me for a minute, let me double check something. I might be able to actually get you this answer sooner. Let me see if it is up yet. Nothing as of yet. But it is in process and they are working on it. We should see it shortly. So for those wanting that form fill for the city builder thing, and for something I have in mind in the future, we're going to need it. If you missed that Kobold chat last week, it was a doozy. We cracked open the book. We looked through all the maps. We looked through everything that was in the campaigns, the city guide, the city and towns guide. But if you missed it, go check it out. Everything's over on YouTube, usually Friday mornings, Friday afternoons it comes up. PDF forms. But it's a form fill. It's basically a character sheet for your city and town. And that's what we were waiting on. That should be out here very soon. So is there any questions I can answer for any of you before we close out for the day? I went a little bit longer for everybody today because we were having some tech issues, but is there anything I can answer? Anything that I didn't touch on today? Quick reminders for people who showed up late to the show, which is totally fine. This will be over on YouTube on Friday. We obviously have this. This is our expanding Codex, right? Super clean, super simple. This is free. It is on the site right now, and it is part of our anniversary, 17 days of birthday anniversary. Today, this will last 48 hours. Expanding Codex. We look through that. It upgrades monsters from monsters that we've built before. Tomorrow will be another freebie. That will last 48 hours. And then on Friday, we'll have another release, which is 20% off, a PDF and a hardback together as a bundle. 20% off, and that will last through the weekend. And then we'll launch in the next week. Next week. Can you help me out, Eric? Can you leave some sexiness for the rest of us, brother? Look. I'm sorry. Did you mention VTT plans for this stuff? Great question. Hold on. I can answer some of this for you. You ready? Whoop. Let me pull this up. Also, here's the calendar for all the days that we have releases. For those who are looking, this is also on our social medias. You can find us everywhere, Kobold Press. Whoosh. You asked about that. It's like I was ready for this question. You see this? Raise your flag and welcome our first wave of publisher partners. Ghostfire Games, Steam Forged Games, Nord Games, Frog God, Griffin Saddlebag, Hit Point Press, Vineyard, Refinery, Dungeon Scribe, Mage Hand Press, right? Well, hold on. And where is it at? They're awesome. I'm a big Mage Hand Press fan as well. Valda's Guide, super cool. We did do an announcement that had some extra stuff in it. Hold on here. Where are we at? Is it this one? Nope. We had an announcement that we did for this as well. And I believe it had some of the things you were... Oh, did you see these, by the way? New monsters. It's a little awesomeness. I'm trying to find the post for you, but they showed... So the only minis I personally know about right now are the ones that are part of Deep Magic. If you back Deep Magic, you'll get first dibs on ordering those two, the Frost and the Fire. But other than that, I don't think we've said anything publicly that I know about, or privately actually, for miniatures. I would like to see more miniatures too, though. So here you go. Project Black Flag, all hands on deck. Here's some other partners raising a flag with us. I hope this helps answer your question on VTTs. Cost? Shard Tabletop, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, Foundry VTT, World Anvil, Demiplane, and Alchemy. I think this is what you were looking for, right? I think this is what you were looking for. So, I'm excited to see this stuff. Our site is on fire today, apparently. It just keeps giving me the wait command. I'm interested to take a look at Foundry. I really am. I use Roll20 for most of my stuff just because I've been there since it was Tabletop Forge. And Tabletop Forge was a Kickstarter that turned into Roll20. And I've just kind of carried my time through. But I love how they handle animated stuff. So there's a good chance that we may be trying that out here pretty soon. Oh, awesome. Cost, what are you running? What are you going to run? Do you know? Yeah, Ramp. I'm assuming there's a learning curve. I'm fine with a learning curve, though. It doesn't bother me at all. Part of my job is learning new software and stuff like that, so why not, right? The only thing I worry about with Foundry, because this is me not being knowledgeable on the product, is how I will do it for paid GMing. And how I can have people sign in easily. I think that's the only thing I need an answer for. And once I have that, then I'm pretty much rockstar. Pretty much rockstar. Because I do pay GMing for a lot of different things right now. And a lot of it is virtual. So I'd love to be able to do that. You're running the Elven Gate. Okay, cool. I've not ran that one yet. You'll have to let me know how it goes this weekend. We'll be back Wednesday for sure. Most dead games on their website. I used to have a unique title on Roll20, Dracolich. Most dead games on their website. Okay. I hope the Tailspire starts to handle systems well because that VTT is awesome. You know what? I've seen some really cool stuff about that, Savage. Friends of mine from the Cypher Unlimited Discord were doing some work with Tailspire, and it does some pretty cool stuff. Same with Alchemy. Alchemy's got some really cool stuff as well. So I'm curious to see how Alchemy turns out too. Any other questions I can answer for you all before we close it for the day? Anything else that you might have questions on? I'm excited for Black Flag to be in its completion, just in general. You know what I mean? Did you trim your beard? And did that trim reduce your charisma score? No. No, I did not trim my beard. It's the same. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do trim this down here when it happens. But no, it's the same big old beard. It's the same big old beard. I didn't trim it. It's just tighter today. Is there product in it? There might be some product in it. That might be why it looks like it's trimmed. Less flyaways. I do need to get my hair cut. My hair is getting long right now. I had a convention around the corner. I can't look like a sloppy person. You can manually set up login usernames and passwords in Foundry. Okay, that's cool to know. Nice. Nice. Can you plug your own channel, brother? I want to follow. I don't see why not. I'm on YouTube. Let me pull up YouTube for you. Someone in chat might already have it. Eric Frankhouse Presents. Eric Frankhouse Presents. You can find me on YouTube everywhere. I mean, honestly, it's me everywhere, period. We just did our last 2 shows of Dragonlance, which were super fun. Where I'm running it like heavy metal meets a Game of Thrones style game. I'm not even running the adventure 100%. It's pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with it. But you can find me on YouTube for that stuff, anywhere, honestly. Any other things that I can answer questions for all of you? Lots of stuff today. We did a lot. This baby though, March 7th, that's huge. Anniversary, 17 days of it. You can find me everywhere. I might have let me see if I have a link in my Discord for you. I do. Trying to think if there's anything else I can talk to you guys about. I'm looking through a list. I have like a list of can and cannot says. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making sure I don't cannot say things that I should not say. I know, Myth. I voted for transmutation too, my friend. Evocation cannot win. We're talking about Discord for our March Madness for spells. We definitely need to do that. Oh, it looks like the ClickUp task is in process, so we should be seeing that PDF for the form fill soon. I'm all for transmutation over evocation. All for it. 100% all for it. $40 chested yourself? How did evocation beat necromancy anyway? I said the same thing. How in the world does necromancy lose? Necromancy's good and bad. It's heal and harm, right? It's both polarities. How in the heck would that lose? I don't know. Well, if that is it for questions, follow us on our website, go through everything, check out what's going on with the lovely anniversary specials all week long. I'll be putting out some new shorts, and on our TikTok, we'll be having some TikToks go out as well, kind of doing quick reviews of each of the products that are coming out through the anniversary each day. On top of that, if you want to follow me, I'm Eric Frankhouse, or Eric Frankhouse Presents everywhere. You can find me on Twitter most of the time. But man, I'm on Discord, we're on YouTube, and then I'm here every Wednesday for Kobold Chats. I have more stuff to talk about next week. We're going to have a new blog this Friday coming out for Black Flag. And then don't forget Mandalorians tonight. Go watch them. And I'm going to do the thing I do every time since this gets transferred over to YouTube, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This was, again, I love doing the chats. I have more information to spill as things come out. This is the place to get it. This is the news desk. You're going to see links over here to click, and then over here is going to be the subscribes. The last question of the show is, if you were polymorph a dinosaur into any other creature, what would it be and why? A mouse, because a T-Rex mouse would be hilarious to let loose in a house. And I rhymed that. See you guys all later. Have a great one.